Hey guys, it's Eric with Muscle Cars with Eric coming at you again today for another episode of What's in Your Garage. Today I am in the Northwest Valley of Phoenix. Beautiful day. It's going to be like in the low 80s. Anyhow, forget about that. I have an opportunity to video and do an interview with a guy that owns a 1968 Chevelle SS 396 in Concours condition. In fact, this car is going to the Mecum auction this next weekend for sale. So if you want to buy a car, go to Mecum or go online and buy this car. Stick around for more right here on Muscle Cars with Eric. All right, so we have the right time, the right location, and we knocked and hopefully he's here. Yeah, look at that. Like I've said before, I love it when a plan comes together. Look at this car, man. That's it. And that's my buddy Lee. Come on out, man.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Thanks so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
I sincerely appreciate it. Lee, you've got a beautiful, beautiful car here. We met a couple years ago at a Good Guys event, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And I ended up crawling on the ground and checking all the tags and stuff. And you've done some remarkable work to the car since then. Well, the episodes of What's in Your Garage, so we know what's in your garage. What that means is we have to start the car
Yeah,
and pull out of the garage, right?
sure.
All right, we're going to do a cold start video here for these folks. All right, cool. All right, stick around. Hey guys, Eric, and I got my buddy Lee here, and Lee, you've got a beautiful 1968 Chevelle SS 396. Talk to us about this car, man. I mean, this is absolutely incredible. And thanks again.
You're welcome, Eric.
It's an honor.
Yeah, glad you could make it.
Thank you.
I picked up the car in Sacramento, California about 2.5 years ago from an elderly gentleman that was more into 32 Fords.
Okay.
So I saw the car, took about 4 hours on a test drive. And
Hear the jets going overhead? God bless America. It's cool, man.
so the next morning we went over, shook hands, and had funds transferred. I had the transport lined up for that following Friday,
Okay.
and I got it on the following Sunday.
So you've had this car how long now?
Since April of 2021.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Now, this car is very, very unique and very special. I mean, one of the things about it, earlier, well, we've known each other for a few years now.
Yes.
And you mentioned it's like a one-of-one car.
Well, in 2.5 years and the internet, I found out that there's a gentleman in Canada
Okay.
has a 70 in this shade. There were Pontiacs from 64 on that were special ordered in this color. There was maybe a glacier blue Oldsmobile
Okay.
and a couple of Cadillacs. So different GMs had different names for this.
Okay.
But being the North Carolina dealers were almost the exclusive ones to order this color, it was commonly monikered as Carolina Blue.
No kidding.
So then all the documentations follow up that it was sold and ordered in Carolina, in North Carolina.
Okay. That's really
So
cool.
that's where the Carolina
This is
Blue
gorgeous.
came from,
Now-
and it mimics the Carolina basketball football team colors.
Oh, yeah, there you go, right on.
So
Now, you've done a lot to this car. So let's start off here. I mean, oh, look at this. You mentioned the bumper was redone and these rear parts here were redone and stuff. I mean, you gave me quite a story about how this rear bumper came to being. Talk to us about that right now.
well, the bumper that was on it when I purchased the car had a raised recess right here from unknown reasons that I
Okay.
overlooked. So I did my research and found out that I could get a good quality imported bumper, and my plater in Dubuque, Iowa would strip the chrome,
Okay.
massage it with 2 layers of copper, get out any imperfections. Then he would dip it in lifetime chrome and machine the factory guards so for an exact fit. So everything was plated on the same day. This was originally a gloss black. It's now in factory correct matte black.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, was anything done to this? Was this in this condition? Because I know you've gone through this painstakingly restored everything on this car.
This stainless was brand new.
Okay, this right here?
Yep. The bezels are brand new. And the gaskets in here are new. So pretty much everything on the back end that needed attention is done.
Wow. Now, is this the original style exhaust tips?
I've seen a lot of them like this.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say with total certainty that they may have had dumps on them with 3/4 dumps or anything like that. But to me, it sounds too good and looks too good to change.
It does sound pretty good.
So if somebody wants to spend $100 with a welding shop, they can put it whatever way they want.
There you go, right on.
Sure.
Now, is this stainless steel or chrome or what?
That would be a polished stainless.
Okay.
And then all factory SS 396s in 1968 had black quarter panels. You see some restorations where they paint them to match the body.
But this is actually a standard paint color.
Yeah, almost any 68 Chevelle would have a black quarter panels down at the bottom below the stainless.
Okay. Now we were talking about the stripes. Those are actual factory style stripes as well?
It's called a D96 stripe option.
Okay.
And with the black quarter panels, the black vinyl roof, it really flows well with the whole overall paint scheme.
It does.
And it gives a racier edge.
Look at this roof too. This roof is, my goodness, is very luxurious looking, and I want to use the term lustrous. How's that?
The car.
Look at this. This is.
Well, the car was stored for a lot of years. I think they probably put 3,000 miles on it from, I don't know, 96 to 2020.
No kidding.
Yeah, the engine was rebuilt. The engine and everything, and transmission, everything was gone through with a nut and bolt restoration in 96. And then after that, maybe 1 or 2 owners had it. And there was a few things that needed to be done with any car that's 50 plus years old.
Now, what about the interior? You mentioned a little bit about the interior, and earlier we rolled down the windows, and I want to show these people the action of that. I mean, this is just incredible. And you open up the door. Here, listen to this, guys. Just like a showroom. This feels so perfect. Let's roll up the window.
Okay. One detail as far as doors go is if the locks are not painted over, the screws are not painted over, and obviously the rubber grommets aren't painted over. And then factory should be black screws holding the panels in. So I did a lot did some corrections there.
Wow.
To get that the way it was supposed to be.
Now, is this the original carpet that's in here, or did you have this replaced?
That's probably a reproduction carpet when they did the seats probably in 96.
Okay.
But
so these seats go back to 96?
As far as legend has it, yeah.
Is this original style high back bucket? Okay.
69, I think he came with the teardrop optional headrest.
Okay. Look at how clean this is. My goodness. And then you mentioned something about the tilt wheel, the wood wheel. What is this wood? Is it maple?
It's a simulated wood grain.
Okay.
The Corvettes in that year had a real teak.
Okay.
And you're probably going to fetch a couple $1,000s for one of those.
Right.
But I've had guys that are woodworkers that it kind of fooled them. It's a realistic wood look.
It's very realistic. That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Now this the original. Did you redo the gauges? I mean, is this original gauges that you redid?
The gauge clusters were, I think, redone when I bought the car.
Okay.
But the gauge package for the faceplate for the air conditioning and stuff, I redid all the levers and the faceplate for that, and then the console, the lenses there were all redone.
Let me slide in and take a look at
Sure,
that.
have at it.
Okay. So you said the faceplate for the air conditioning and stuff is all done?
Yep, we redid that ourselves.
And you redid the levers and...
the knobs.
And then you also mentioned, we were chit-chatting earlier today, that you had the radio
right
rebuilt.
It came with the factory optional AM/FM AC Delco,
Okay.
and it also had the optional rear speaker.
Okay.
So my friend at Chevelle Specialties had a go-to guy, took the thing out while we had the dash apart. He went through it, cleaned it all up, got all the balance controls, treble controls, and everything all cleaned up. So it's restored 100% functional.
Wow, that is so cool. All right, so I got to ask you. In 1968, I wasn't driving yet, but that's besides the point. But in 1968, what radio station did you listen to?
KAAY, Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah.
That's cool. Was that was an AM radio station?
Yeah, it was Clyde Clifford with Beaker Theater. First heard Inagata DeVita and King Crimson.
No kidding.
Stuff you're not going to hear on the farm.
Right.
But
Of course.
it would pull in Little Rock, Arkansas into rural Iowa. And now he's in his 80s and he still has a spot on Facebook.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That is so cool. And it's great that you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Now let's move on down here. I want to talk about these tires.
Okay.
Are they the real deal BF Goodrich radial TA tires?
Yeah, we got 225 70s on the front. 225 70s on the front,
Okay.
275 60s on the rear. And I had the black walls out initially when I put them on,
Okay.
about 1,500 miles ago.
Yeah.
And it looked a little stark with the stock looking wheels.
Okay.
If it was Krager's or something, the black walls would be showing out.
Right.
So anyway, I had them reverse them.
Okay.
And from 2017 to 2022, a lot of the Goodriches had a brown gum in them
Oh,
that would
okay.
discolor the lettering and you couldn't sand it off. So a guy in El Mirage sells a whitening product for the raised letters.
No kidding.
You put a white wax on it,
Yeah.
leave it sit, then turn it upside down overnight. Then the cool air constricts the tire, pushes it out, wipe it down, and then just put a
So
foam
you
dressing on it.
Put the wax material on this.
Yeah, the whole face of the tire.
Right. Set it upright.
Put a
Let
couple of pavers underneath it.
Okay.
And leave it upside down overnight. Then the next morning, it turns to a white, kind of a white film. You knock that off, and then I just use some foam, some tire foam to clean up the natural look.
That looks awesome.
Thanks. Yeah,
Wow.
it worked out good.
This is a turn signal or just a corner lamp?
That's a corner lamp.
Okay.
I think the early models might have said SS 396, which was very rare,
Okay.
but the later models had just the 396 numerals in them.
Okay. Look at this. This is it. Beautiful. I consider this model year one of my favorites because I look at the lights, it's like they're winking at you. You know, when you do the brights and then and you have the brightener underneath the on the floor there.
It's interesting. When I sold my GMC Sprint, I was on the hunt for another car.
Mm-hmm.
And I was initially looking at a 69 for, for all practical purposes. But then after I started looking at the taillight configuration, being this was the first year for the body style,
Right.
this is what the designers planned the car to look like.
Okay.
So 69, they have planned obsolescence. They got to do something different.
Right.
So they went to a bigger boxed taillight. This is the last year for a metal front grille.
Oh, that's metal.
That's metal. So to me, that's a plus. So you got the black, the black panel that wraps around from the quarter panels.
Okay.
It continues through there.
Oh, no kidding. Look at that.
Yeah, see, it's
sure
a real
does.
harmonious.
Yes,
It's a real
yes.
harmonious flow to the paint job.
It is.
And the corners here in the matte
Yeah,
black,
Yeah.
and then the black stripe and everything. So it just kind of flows.
Wow.
69s would have just a white 3 bars, a narrow bar and a wide bar stripe down here, optional.
Okay.
Whereas
Isn't it called the waist, or isn't that what it referred to as a waist, or the?
I'm not sure what the
Yeah.
what the moniker is, but
Okay.
the more I started looking, the full wrap with the black all the way around, to me, you're getting a lot more
Yeah.
bling for it.
Yeah. This is one of the baddest muscle cars in 1968 too, wasn't it?
Well,
I
some
mean,
guys
obviously you had the 454.
some guys
but-
like GTOs, but if you look at the profile and everything, I've had different people say nice GTO when you're going by in a parade, and I said, well, I'll excuse you for
Okay,
that.
there you go.
The rough lines and a lot of things are really similar.
I mean, look at this. This is just really cool, guys. Now, one thing we didn't talk about yet was the engine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I look at the engine as being like the diamond in the setting.
Mm-hmm.
The setting here is brilliant. This is just absolutely gorgeous. This is a Tiffany's Chevelle, if you will. And now we're going to take a look at the engine. Can we pop the hood?
Sure.
All right. Okay, so why don't we start off here? This is correct battery for this year, make, and model car.
It's I think it's a class R34 if I remember right. It's an interstate. A lot of cars have the Delco covers on them like this.
Right.
But it's only a year and a half old or something. So anyway, that works good.
So this is all original equipment for the Chevelle SS 396.
The intake is not original. It's period correct.
Okay.
The carburetor is exactly correct, but it is not original.
Okay.
The car had an
Well, of course, carburetors need to be rebuilt once in a while.
But the specifications on it and everything were built to exact standards.
Okay.
Redone to exact standards. Original R12, original frigid air, and that blows cold. So you don't see a whole lot of R12s that still work.
Right. That's tough to get, isn't it?
Yeah.
R12.
Well, I found a couple
Sources?
pints here and there, and I just got them for safekeeping. But
good for you.
I had Armac Hose, who's my AC guy, said everything's fine. You don't need anything.
Look at these hose clamps too. That's all original style hose clamps, right?
Yeah, they're called tower clamps.
Yeah.
Actually, the water pump actually used a different style clamp, so those are correct.
Okay. Individual belts.
Mm-hmm.
Individual alternator.
All the belts and stuff have like 200 miles on them.
Power steering. Look at how clean this is. I mean, this is just really, really
You don't see a lot of them that have
done.
heat shields under the plugs, Eric.
No kidding, look at that.
And then
Right
I asked
down
Bill
there.
about number 4 not having one, and he says, well, number 4 never came with one.
Oh,
So
well, then there you go.
he's a wealth of information. He's probably forgot more than I know, which is true.
And you said you replaced all the plugs,
Plugs, wires.
everything. And that's your
Took the stage 3 Pertronics out and put in a stage 1.
old school distributor cap back there.
New wiper motor, new washer, all new vacuum lines.
Brake booster, all that other stuff.
Put in a new master cylinder, new metering valve.
Okay.
The brakes have been completely gone through front and rear. Everything.
This is really very, very well done. And now look at the hood here. This is, so was this a standard color, like a matte black finish?
I think they're supposed to be a two-tone
Okay.
by law, from the get-go.
And this is the original insulation, right?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the one that came with when I got the car.
And those are your horns right there.
Horns work and everything.
Horns work.
Yep.
This is like super, super clean. All
It
right.
really runs and idles nice. It's got the divorce choke on the manifold there. You press it once, crank it over, it comes in on high idle.
Nice.
Let it idle for a minute and a half. Tap it again. It comes down on low idle with the biometallic choke disengaging.
That's cool.
So I didn't want a manual choke. I didn't want an
Right.
electric choke. I wanted just the way it came.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the last video. I hand selected a couple videos for you to watch right now. Click here.